everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rutan, and this is a blue-collar wine show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. We continued to march through Washington Wine Month, the original one being March this month, and we are going to focus on Malbec. Now, we all know that Malbec is most produced in Argentina. That's where we get a ton of Malbec from Argentina. And the Argentinian Malbec is, generally speaking, a lot cheaper than domestic Malbec. There's a lot of reasons for that. We won't get into all the details, but generally speaking, it's a lot more expensive to grow the fruit and the labor here in Washington State than it is down in Argentina. That's probably the easiest explanation. There's other details as well, but we won't get into those. Malbec is one of the original 5 grapes of Bordeaux, and I believe they're starting to replant Malbec in Bordeaux now. It kind of disappeared for a while. Argentina picked it up, went with it big time. It's funny to me how Argentinian Malbec is kind of falling off, kind of like Australian wines are falling off. And man, I tell you, we were just talking about this 6 years ago. You put a stack of Malbec up, it just boom from Argentina. Not so much anymore. Remember layer cake Malbec? First of all, you couldn't get it. And then when you got it and you stacked it, it just went away really quickly. And it was a little more expensive than average. So we have 3 Malbec from Washington State. And we'll talk about that grape varietal a little bit more. This is the 2018 Terra Blanca Arch Terrace Malbec Red Mountain. I tell you, this is a great winery. $17. If you ever get a chance to go up to Red Mountain, go to Terra Blanca. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Keith Pilgrim's a cool guy. I love him. He's the winemaker there and the owner. They just have a terrific spot to go to if you get a chance to go there. Please do. $17. Keith is able to produce a lot of wine, a little bit less because most of his grapes come from a state vineyard. So he's owned the vineyards for a long time, which brings the cost down. Little white paper check. This is very dark. You almost can't see through it. Really, really dark burgundy color here. Yes, almost edging on blackish, as you can see. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know if this white paper is helping or not. You let me know. By the way, I appreciate the comments on the last episode dealing with GSMs. Almost everybody, well, all of them that made the comment said, yes, we want to see the blends. And some said, not only do they want to see the grapes, they want to see the percentages of the grapes. So for you winemakers out there, you guys making your labels, please realize that most consumers want to know the composition of that wine, especially if it's a blend. This is 100% Malbec. Keith put it on the back. Good job, Keith. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, big time, solid plum and blackberry notes. It's a little bit of a red berry, almost like a red cherry, but more red berry-ish coming through. There's a hint of like a little touch of mocha, not a lot, just a touch. I'm even getting just a kiss of bark. Pretty perfumed on the nose. Not pretty, but very perfumed on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Big time plum, red berry, blackberry notes on the palate. A little bit of spice on the finish. Good acidity, solid complexity. Great wine, front to finish, very balanced. $17, guys. That's a good deal. This is really shining right now. Did I give the vintage on this? Did I? No, 2018. Great vintage in Washington, by the way. If you can get your hands on a lot of 18s, please do. And don't pass up this Malbec from Terra Blanca. The bark notes seem to come through just a little bit. I don't get the mocha at all on the palate. what I like about this wine, good acidity, but it's not puckering. It's very well integrated into the wine. This is a solid food wine. If you're doing hamburgers, if you're doing steak, if you're doing duck, if you're doing anything like that, this would be a beauty with that. I love the blackberry notes kind of come through on the finish. Definitely plum notes. Strawberry seems to hit me just barely, but it's there. More blueberry than strawberry. Take the strawberry away, blueberry is what's coming out. So you get that red berry, blueberry. There's some red flower notes in there. Definitely plum, blackberry, a lot of stuff going on there. So it's kind of cross a potpourri of red and blue fruits and a little bit of black fruit, blackberry. So there's all these things coming through on this wine and a touch of spice on the finish. I would say though that generally this is more red fruit driven with a little bit of blue fruit thrown in there, and that blackberry is in there as well, but it's definitely more on the reddish side, just saying. Even a touch of cigar box on the finish. Now, okay, $17. I'm excited about this wine. Very solid, 2018. I'm going to go B plus, A minus. No, I'm going to go A minus A. For the money, this is a great value and a very solid wine. Keith is a great winemaker. He is very famous for Onyx. You guys are probably familiar with Onyx. It's a very well-known Washington red blend that does very well. It's a high-end wine. This is high-end wine. The Arch Terrace is his, more of his entry-level wines. But man, this is solid, solid Malbec for $17. I'm going to go A minus A. Really, really like that one. Wow. Right off the bat. Like we said, Washington State, it's kind of a curse. They do a lot of wines very well, a lot of varietals very well. So they're not really known for any one varietal. I would say Merlot and Syrah should be their signature wines, especially Syrah. They do Syrah, and we'll be doing a Syrah episode. But you see, like Napa's identified. We know Napa, Cabernet Sauvignon, New Zealand, Sauvignon Blanc, Willamette Valley, Pinot Noir, Washington, just about everything. Just it's crazy. Okay, a winery of the year a few years back, Michael Savage. I love this guy. He reminds me of Woody Allen a little bit. He's a pretty cool guy. This is a Savage Grace, Deneen Vineyard, Rattlesnake Hills, Co-Dependent. Co is the French word for Malbec. That's what they call it in, especially in the Mataran region of France. I believe that's where it is. But C-O-T, is what they call Malbec. This is 2016. This rolls in at $32. So we're jumping up there, $32. Now, he releases another that a lot earlier. But this is a 16. I've had this for a couple of years in my cellar, but I pulled it out because he took 5 barrels of his and he decided to age them a little longer in barrel and finish it out a little bit more, round it out just a little bit more. And élevage is the French word for raising, so he raised it to the level he wanted it. I don't know if he's done it again. I'm not sure about that. I'm actually hoping to go down and see him in April. But anyway, so a little longer in barrel, a little more time, 5 barrels, so that would be 25 cases. You got the 125 bottle cases of wine. Let's see the color on this. Again, very, very dark. A little lighter than the Terra Blanca. Yeah, on the redder side versus more black. Burgundy red. There you go. Don't laugh at me about colors. I'm terrible. Terrible. Let's see what we get on those. Not as expressive as the Terra Blanca. Terra Blanca coming from 18, great vintage. I get a little nettles, kind of salal leaf thing coming through. little coffee bean thing going on. Yeah, definitely that veggie thing with coffee bean, with a little bit of earth and bark. Not a ton of fruit on the nose, which is very interesting to me. Let's see what we get on the palate. That veggie comes through. It just reminds me of nettles, kind of maybe a little tomato leaf. Not tomato. Let's not go there. Salal leaf, nettles, sort of thing. Good tannins. I mean, it's got some serious bite on the backside. Earth notes, red berries. Yeah, red berries, maybe a touch of plum. I get a little bit of cherry in there as well. Very interesting. Now, what I like about Michael Savage is he likes to go old world in style. He loves old world wines. It's obvious in his winemaking style. Now, he does have a few wines that are more fruit forward, but this one shows that kind of vegetal, red berry, cherry. I do get a little touch of black, underripe blackberry. Very interesting wine. Good balance, good acidity. The tannins are a little firmer than the Terra Blanca. This is a wine I'd be very careful who I recommended it to. And it's $32. Now, I'm not sure if it's less than that. I just looked. I had to look online because it wasn't on their website. Obviously, he hasn't done it recently. And I think it was Sean Sullivan from Wine Enthusiast said it was $32. So I'm going with that. You might be able to get it less. It might be a little more, depending on who has it. But so very interesting wine. Very delicate compared to the Terra Blanca, but very good as well. I mean, it's a different style of wine. If you like Bordeaux, if you like, Bordeaux or some more old world style wines, you will like this wine a lot. It has that nice elegance, but has the impact as well. This will age a little bit longer. If you like Loire Valley Cab Franc, you'll like that kind of herbaceousness that comes through on the mid palate into the finish. A little bit of tea leaf action as well. $32 is a lot of money. I'm going to go BB plus on this. I think it's a very solid wine, very well made. I'm not going to say it's overpriced because Michael's a very small winery. You understand? He took 5 barrels of this and did the codependent COT Malbec, dependent on the barrel aging and, rounding out a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to go BB plus on that. Solid wine. I understand, Michael, why you're up there in that upper price range. Can't hold that against you. Now we're going to finish off with another winery of the year in the past, a blast from the past. Man, the color on this is redonkulous. Look at this baby. So this is the Core Cellars Malbec 2018. Again, great vintage. Hogback Ridge. This rolls in at $28. Luke Bradford's a very cool guy. Great winemaker. Hope you keep making your Tempranillo, Luke. Just saying. Oh, this is like purple, purple, purple. I know purple. Burgundy purple. Look at that. Look at that dark. You can't see through that. That's so purple it's almost black. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, almost a raisin. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Stick in your nose in a box of sun-made raisins. Candied almost. Candied. Little current action raisin. Winemakers, wine critics got away from raisin and prune. I don't know why. Let's just say it. It's not a big deal. What's the difference between a dried curd and a raisin? Not much, really. It reminds me of walking into a winery with all these, these fermenters going, and you smell that fermentation. It has a little bit of that with the raisin and currants. I mean, black fruit like crazy. Love the nose on this. Very interesting. And like I said, it reminds me of going into a winery where they're fermenting a bunch of grapes. It has that smell to it with the raisin, currants. There's almost like a black raspberry element coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Ding, 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 ding. Love the Terra Blanca for the money. This is a big, powerful wine, but balanced. Big currant notes coming through, backed by some nice, I wouldn't say blackberry, but almost boysenberry. A little chocolate, dark currants. Tannins kind of grip on the backside, but big, powerful wine without going over the top. I wouldn't call it a fruit bomb, but it's definitely got power. For those guys who want a big wine, this is what it's all about. Now, I'm saying 28 bucks. Now, I've tasted some big wines from California. 60, 50, 60 bucks. Spice on this is incredible on the finish. Yeah, wow. There's an earthiness too that balances out the fruit. And I get a little tobacco as well. It just kind of sneaks in underneath. Not a huge part of the profile, but it is there. And then that grip on the backside, just kind of, it's like, a book that you read, boom, big, 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 big story, balances out, you keeps your interest on the finish. You get that like gripping finish. Does that make any sense? That's how I'm describing this wine. This is a good book. Like a page turner. And I like that kind of earthiness. You get a little bark, a little dirt coming through underneath, like kisses of it here and there. Like, there it is. So it's a big wine with a lot of balance, a lot of complexity, a lot of things going on. I am going to go A+ on that. Solid wine. 2018. Last time I tasted this was a 17. This 18. Oh man, you could put this away for 10 years. This will be when we talked about that cellar episode, 10 years. This is one of those wines. And it's at a decent price point. I know not everybody can afford that price point. I understand, trust me, I understand. But that's a solid wine. A+, A-, BB+. See, Washington just rocks it with many different varietals. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put up episodes on Mondays and Thursdays, so you can look forward to that. Hopefully you're learning something. Hopefully you're enjoying something. Make a comment. What do you think about this episode? Do you still drink Argentinian Malbec? Let me know in the comments. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.